This is Christoph Yalik.
This is Just Janet.
And this is K. Colley.
And this is
the Just Nuggets Podcast.
Welcome back to the Just Nuggets Podcast. 10-game winning streak Nuggets Podcast.
Absolutely. Yay, Nuggets.
Let's go, Nuggets. How you doing? Christoph, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. You know, it's good to be on the winning side finally and moderately healthy. So I'm gonna knock on wood for that.
Oh, don't say moderately. Let's say healthy.
Yeah, I mean Peyton Watson's out, so that's why I stick to the moderately.
And Spencer Jones. He's out too a little bit.
So yeah, but to be on a 10-game win streak without two very pivotal defensive players, and two that have rounded in and can hit timely shots, or in Peyton Watson's case, who's having a good offensive year and having the best year of his career, I'm doing pretty well.
Yep, I agree with you. Yep.
And come to find out, this is the longest Nuggets streak of 10 games plus. The first double-digit streak in the Jokic Jamal era.
Correct.
Of the Nuggets. So congrats to them.
Congrats.
Finally getting that. Playing great basketball right now. Team basketball, obviously. You got to if you're going to win 10 games. There's a game, obviously, we got to talk about. But last night, what did you like to see from the Nuggets?
Before I go to that, when you said we're finally playing the basketball, we played like this, at the beginning of the year, a couple games, whatever. Yeah. We had our starting five the way we have it now, and we were rolling. I think we were doing well.
We're finding a groove.
We were in a groove. And then we started getting hurt. Then people started getting hurt. So to me, we're just getting back to where we should be. We should have been without the health issues. Now, granted, you said we still have some people out, but this is what we thought we were going to look like, right? This summer when we got the trades that we made, and we said, we're going to look like this with Valanciunas being there for Joker when he comes off the court and all this stuff. Now is exactly in our faces, and look what happened. 10-game winning streak. So
also to that point, because on the last pod we had, Big Val was he wasn't playing, and then when he was playing, he wasn't playing well. So I just wanted to say Big Val over the last couple of games, he's been giving us some serviceable good minutes. Like last night's game against Memphis, I don't think he missed. It was a lot of dunks, a lot of layups, and he played super well. He gave some good quality minutes and was one of the reasons why Nikola could chill out for that final quarter.
The fourth quarter.
And maybe he just needed a rest because honestly, he's stacked a couple good games together.
And he's been holding it down when Joker was sick. When he was hurt.
He was big in that Spurs game too.
Yeah.
So he's been playing pretty good basketball.
Yeah. And the other thing is, since we're talking about Big Val, it kind of goes together. There was a little stretch there where the coach wanted to play small ball. That is not us. Let's just stick with what we do well. We might have some periods where we, put our bench in.
We've been winning all the streak and stuff too.
No, but it's not us. We got Val, we got the power forwards, and we got the defense going. I think we make teams play our game instead of us trying to adapt to whoever we're playing.
Jays, I'd raise you that in the playoffs, it's all about matchups. Right? And the fact that DA is showing us right now, he's showing his team, he's experimenting, he's playing it, that they can start to play various different lineups. So if you had to play, you probably won't, the Los Angeles Clippers, you could play them one way. You could play the Thunder one way. You're going to have to play Wemby and the Spurs one way. You're going to have to play Minnesota another way. So I think that's where the mindset's coming from with that. And it's pretty, I think it's good because the Nuggets, for all the metrics and numbers and statistics this season, they're not a good defensive team, but they've also been injured. And I would love to see the stats for when they're like fully healthy. What is their defensive rating? Because Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson, once they come back with Aaron Gordon healthy, if the Nuggets stay healthy, they're gonna win the championship. I'm not gonna bet money on it because I don't like sports betting like that. But like, if I'm being completely honest with my eyes and my heart, because I'm talking about the different Nuggets, so it's hard for me to be unbiased. But the Nuggets are gonna win the NBA championship if they stay healthy. That's the key. If they stay healthy, no one's beating them. The only people that can beat them are injuries.
Coach Adelman had a good point to your point about defense. He said one of the reasons we've been on this 10-game win streak is because that we've been more committed to defense.
Yeah.
Which honestly isn't saying a lot when you give up 119 to the Grizzlies, but if they are committing even more to defense over this time, when they get to the playoffs, to Kristaps' point about matchups, if you can look out, be on the court and understand how to defend a team, that's going to make a big difference when you're on a historical. The Nuggets offense is the best, most efficient offense in NBA history right now, led by Nikola Jokic, who, without a doubt, has proven again that he's the MVP of the NBA.
Oh, we gonna go there?
No, I'm just saying as far as like he's proven he's the MVP of the NBA. People have their own scenarios on who they think is MVP, but undeniably he's been playing at such an MVP level that if he didn't have 3 MVPs, this would be a shoo-in for him to get another one. We were talking about this earlier today. When LeBron started getting all those MVPs, they were like looking for people to give an MVP to that wasn't LeBron because it came so easy. And I think that's what's happening in Nikola, where you have a guy that literally is about to set a record that to Paul Pierce's point, may never get broke again. The NBA has been around for about to be 80 years, if it's not already over 80 years. No one's done this. No one's led the NBA in assists or rebounds.
And rebounds.
If you want to give it to SGA because he had 100 and whatever, he broke Wilt Chamberlain. Clearly, you hear what I said right before that? Broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. Like, the record was already held by someone else versus Jokic, where no one's had the record. It is what it is. I'm just saying, I feel like on this podcast specifically, we should give our flowers to Jokic again.
Yes.
And how
No, I mean it's actually dumb.
Not to forget how great he is as a basketball player because the national media does it.
No, because it's dumb if you really look at it. Like the only person I would say give the MVP to, I guess there would be two. It would be Wemby or Luka, right? And then all of a sudden, over the last, say, 10 games, the last little final stretch here, Luka is injured. We'll talk about that a little bit in not Nuggets. And then you have the Spurs come to Denver, play against the Nuggets, both fully healthy, and Nikola puts up. Let me just read his stat line from that match against Wemby, definitely the defensive player of the year. No one's arguing that. He had 40 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds, and he shot 13 of 15 and had 15 of those were 13 to 25 from the field and 13 of 15 from the free throw line. And that's on the consensus defensive player of the year. He averages 40 against Wemby. And I'm not saying it's going to carry into the playoffs, but I'm just saying, like, when you did a bout, mano y mano, he won. And yes, Shea, you could have said a couple weeks ago when he had those two, those moments when he had they had those 2 big shots against the Nuggets. Sure, you could say that. He's also, has the best record for the second time, I guess the third time in a row. So sure, he can have it. He's not leading the league in scoring this year. That was a big thing last year. And then, like, if you want to really get into it, like, yes, he averages like 32 points per game, right? But he also averages like 17, 18 rebound or free throws as well. So he's getting half his points at the line. So I don't know. I personally think if you aren't giving it to Nikola this year, like, I don't think you should ever give out the award again.
I know.
Because what does he have to do? You didn't give it to him last year because when he averaged a triple double. He does it again, and he's gonna do, as something Dot said, that's something that's no one's ever done before. And it's gonna be hard to do that again because it's hard to lead the league in rebounds and assists.
Well,
have it. I don't know what else to say. I gave up after the Embiid year. But, like, come on, this is silly at this point.
Well, here's what some of the media is saying that is causing them to want SGA to have it, or he should have it, or whatever. He did all of this without his swingman and Jay Will because he was out a lot of the season. I was like, if you're going to use that as a reason for his side, you got to use it for a reason on Nikola's side because he had far more people out. AG was out. CB was out. P Watt's out. Name them. I mean, we had a Cam was out. And so that's what 3, 4 of his starting. Only one that was there
Yeah.
more consistently with him was Murray, and Murray's
Yeah.
having the season of his life finally. And we will talk about him in a minute. I'll say
It,
this, and I know Dot has something to say about the MVP too. He started this, so here we go. I say it. I'm like you. It doesn't matter anymore because in the year that they didn't give it to Joker, then we won the championship. Remember that? Wasn't that, did he get it the MVP year that we won the championship?
Nope.
No. Okay. So I would rather him not get it if that's going to be the precursor to us winning it all. So that's how I'm gonna look at it. But are they doing him wrong?
Well,
Absolutely.
we said that last
Absolutely.
year.
Dot, can I throw in a
Hey, go
stat
ahead.
really quickly? So there have been, I'm sure people have seen this, it's been all over Twitter. There have been over 1.4 million total 10-game winning spans by players in the NBA history, including the playoffs, right? In none of them did a player have as many points, rebounds, and assists as Nikola Jokic has had during this current 10-game winning streak. He's had 252 points,
Wow.
145 rebounds, and
Yep.
127 assists.
I saw that stat, and it's outrageous. It's you can't even. It's indescribable what you have to do to have that, and you don't get the MVP, then it's worthless in my mind. You don't pick the. I mean, you pick who you pick.
And then two, to Christoph's point, the guy that is technically they're saying is even higher than Jokic is Wemby. And
Yeah,
Jokic gave Wemby crazy
he
buckets
did
on
40
one of the
points.
and one of the most televised games. Most people watching it, it was just an enjoyable basketball game. That if you don't like basketball, I mean you don't like basketball if you didn't watch that game.
Yeah.
Two, it was funny because Jokic in that game specifically showed how good of a defender he was too to
Yes.
some people, right?
Yes.
Because he was blocking, getting steals, he had stonks, like whatever. He did all the stuff needed in that game. So
He dunked. I mean, he
and
did
and to
everything.
the people that's like the horse community where he's like, oh, he doesn't take basketball, he doesn't even
He
care.
take it
Go
seriously.
watch that game and show me that Jokic doesn't deeply care about
He
basketball.
cares about
So
basketball.
so the notion that he doesn't he just gets it in his sleep, so therefore he doesn't get the
Yeah.
MVP is all useless to me. And again, this podcast, if we're gonna do anything, it's gonna show light on how great Jokic was this whole year, the
Yes.
whole his whole career,
Yeah.
but specifically this year. We're talking about a guy that had one of the most unbelievable basketball seasons of all time. And again, let's call it the other way. Because if Jokic doesn't get hurt, how many wins do the Nuggets get, and how close are we to the
OKC.
OKC? And then does that matter to you? It's like if he literally doesn't get hurt, we're at 57, 58 wins.
But we're talking logical. Can we talk about the illogical to me? I like Wemby. But what has Wemby won? Or what has he when has he ever taken a team to the
60
playoffs?
games. 60
Huh?
games. He's won 60 games this season.
Yeah. I'm talking about a championship he does not
But
have.
we all know that it's not a
He'd be
championship.
the youngest. He'd be the youngest
He's
MVP in NBA history too.
it's not a playoff award. It's a regular season award. And I'm sorry, Jays. I love you. You already know how it is. But I'm not gonna. This is not the space to tarnish Wimby. Wimby is an absolute dog.
Of
He's a
course he
dog.
is.
The
But
only person you could tarnish of the big four this year is SGA because he's the least
no,
deserving of them
no,
all,
no, no,
and he
no.
probably will win it.
No, no,
But I
no.
guess
Here's my
that's
point.
that's 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 microcosm of life. A lot of
Sure.
the least deserving people get the award at the end.
You're missing my point. I agree with you what you said because I'm not I'm agreeing with you. Here's what I'm not agreeing with you. You can't have SGA one in the voting of MVP and then Wemby two and Joker three, and we just told you what happened in Joker's career and in his season. I, it makes no sense to me. That's why I said I'm done with it. I'm not even saying they have Joker second. They have Joker third.
Technically, he would have been fourth if Luka
Yeah,
didn't get
if
hurt.
Luca didn't get hurt, he'd be four.
It's because it's the LeBron. The only one that didn't get it is like Kareem and Jordan. Like they get like Jordan towards the end, but like I feel like definitely one of them. Uh, Karl Malone deserved it, but like let's get off of that. It's gotten to the point where they're like, okay, we could give it to LeBron every year. We could give it to Jokic every year. Who's gonna be the person that we give to? And now
What's the
SGA
logic
7.
behind that, though? Can you
I
explain?
don't understand. I don't
Yes,
understand the logic,
it's not
but
logic.
that's the ESPN driven stupid talk that they have, and that's where we are. Because how in the world is this man not going to be the MVP this year? I just don't. If statistically, I don't know how he's not.
But by
Luke is
that case,
averaging
that means
33.
SGA should be done getting MVPs.
Yes. Then and
No, because he
SBA
only
should
has
be done.
one. He has only
Yeah,
has
see what I'm
one.
saying? If he gets this one,
If he
then I'm
gets this
like,
one.
by that nature, okay, he's won too many MVPs. Like that's why I said that this. What's your point? You're absolutely right. This was not a thing until LeBron started winning so many MVPs that they just started making up stuff by why other people should get MVP. And ever since then, it's been a long tail. Because here's even the granted, Jokic should have won his first one. But even Jokic winning his first one was because they got tired of Giannis winning them.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, it's easy to go for Jokic now. So then Jokic got him, and they're like, oh, well, we're tired of Jokic winning, and Embiid's going to get this one. And then Embiid won one so bad over Jokic, they're like, oh, Jokic can win another one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We felt bad the way we did Jokic. And then the Nuggets lost in that round, and they're like, the voters felt offended that they picked Jokic, and now they don't pick him no more. It's just silliness. Like
It
you're
is.
saying,
Also,
it's
he's
not
averaging
real. It's not real.
He's also averaging a triple double on the season. We already know that. It's established, right? He's but even more than that, he's about to if he gets one more triple double, he would have set
Break
he would have
this
set
one.
his career high
Yeah.
for triple doubles in a season. Right now, if he doesn't get another one, he has
Right.
34 triple doubles this season. 34.
On like,
34 and he missed a month.
yeah.
He missed 16 games.
Yeah.
With players that wasn't his starters because they were on the bench sick. Okay, that's what I'm
The
saying.
dude, the
You
dude
tell me
missed
that
16 games and he has 34 triple
I get
doubles.
it.
He would have set the NBA record for most triple doubles in a season if he wasn't
You're
hurt.
telling me
Without a doubt.
that you're going to give credit to SGA because Jay Will was hurt and they still.
That's why I said it's not real.
You not giving Joker any of that.
It's silly. It's silly.
It's
And that's
silly.
why I think I said this to Dot the other day. I hope that the deal with the devil OKC made falls flat this year. Like
Oh
I
my
would
goodness.
love that. Like I'm getting to a point like anybody but OKC. Like if San Antonio beats us in the second round and then
Okay.
goes on and wins it, I'm cool. Welcome to the Wemby era. If Jaylen Brown and Tatum win it, I'm cool with that. The Knicks win it, I'm cool with that. Obviously, I want the Nuggets to win it, but like I just don't want OKC to
I'd be
win. I'm
surprised if the
sick of it.
Spurs.
I'm so tired of it. They're good. Yeah, they're great. Whatever. I want this to be over so fast. I was thinking about this today at lunch. I was like, you know what's funny? Because it's cyclical. Because it used to be like I remember like people hated the Heat, but the Heat were inevitable. People hated the Warriors. And now like if you look around, if you played the Heat today and the Warriors tomorrow, like you're not worried about neither one of those teams. So the day will come, and I'm old enough to remember where they were not good. The day will come when the Thunder are no longer good. But I just hope that they don't I just hope they lose this season. And I hope the Nuggets are the one that take them out.
Well, here's the thing. As you talk about, Chris, you have a couple isms when you talk about playoffs. You got to learn how to kill it. You got to end the team season. That's a Christoph thing. And then two, you got to earn your stripes in the playoffs. Like the NBA is like one of the best leagues when it comes to when you win, you really do win because there's no skipping steps in the NBA. It don't matter what team you are. LeBron couldn't skip a step, Jordan couldn't skip a step, Jokic couldn't skip a step, and even as much as we don't like them, SGA couldn't do it because they were the number one seed, still got beat by the Timberwolves. Like the NBA is just that league. You don't just show up unless your name is Magic Johnson, you don't just show up and win an NBA championship your rookie year or even your first time in the playoffs. So I'd be very, very, very surprised if the Nuggets don't beat the Spurs in the second round. Because again, we can kind of go into this now. The Nuggets, since the last time we talked, have went from the 4
Yeah.
to the third,
Third.
and we'll be playing the Timberwolves in the first round.
Well, let's get to their schedule. We have two more games. This is still the season ending. We have one on tomorrow. This is Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday, the 10th. Today is the 9th. And then we have one Sunday with the Spurs. We have the one tomorrow against OKC. So we see both the teams ahead of us. Okay. Now, OKC is already clinched. their positioning. They're going to be number one in the West. They're really the number one in the NBA. Okay, so I don't know how many other teams going to play.
How many should our guys play? Shouldn't we
That's
just like
I was gonna
why
say
would you
that.
how would you play Jokic and any of them guys outside of like a
Well,
quarter?
Here's
Joker has to
Jays,
play.
Jays,
No,
Jays.
play
Here's
for a
here's the
quarter.
injury. The injury report heading into the game is questionable. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. Jokic with a right wrist injury management. Murray with the right shoulder injury, and
Oh,
then
management.
Aaron Gordon with the right hamstring injury management.
They
And
better have
then
done the
both of the
math.
two we already know who are out. The two hamstrings, Spencer Jones and Peyton
Yeah.
Watson.
But they better have done the math because Joker it needs to have 65 games.
Yeah, he
And
can only miss one more
I
game.
think he'd only miss one more
But
game.
here's all you got to do: let him play for the first quarter, and then
He
just
needs
sit him.
20
That's
he
only
needs
12
20
minutes.
minutes. He needs
You need
20
20
minutes.
minutes.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yes, you need 2 quarters.
Oh.
So that's why I said if you're gonna don't mess with the last game he has to do something and something fails or something. Get the man to play tomorrow.
Then I would
The
rather,
first half
to
is
your point,
city.
I would rather him play against OKC,
Yes.
try to get that body.
Well, not even that. Just get
No,
this
get that
done.
body. I mean, if he has to play 20 minutes, you might as well just play the
And
game.
Wimby has the same issue. He needs another game too, for sure. Joker has 2 games to get one, and I think Wemby is hurt a little bit. He got hurt in the last game he played. It was fluke. He got hurt in the chest, and so now he's sore up in the top part of his body.
Or you
So,
just let Jokic. I mean, granted, if I was actually one of the coaches, I would just tell Jokic what game you want to play and just call what it is.
okay, you're just putting stuff in it. You're to me, you're fooling yourself if you think that now you got to make sure he does play that last game. Why not get the one in front of
No,
you?
that's what I'm saying. You only get to play one of the games. Like, do you want to play the Thunder or do you want to play the Spurs? Like, I would just
I'm
let him see
saying,
what he wants
I'm
to do.
saying play the Thunder
Yeah,
and
okay.
leave the
Well,
Spurs.
you have to play both of them. It's interesting because the three teams you have to go through are the teams that we ultimately, I think if you had to go through these three and you win each of these, you deserve to be the champion because
Wait,
whoever comes out
let's
the
go into
East,
this.
you need to beat them too. But like Minnesota, who we already know that's on site. Like the come on, Nuggets fans listening to me, you two, we already know what that is. I don't have to unpackage that. Minnesota, right?
Yep, three all of them.
Then Wimby
Yeah,
and San Antonio,
yes.
and then
Okay,
OKC.
see, to get to the final.
That's your trajectory to the final. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. Much like in 2023, you had to go through Minnesota. You had to go through the inevitable. You had to see Katie
AD and Booker.
and Booker.
Yeah,
You had to see them, and that's when they were. That's when that was a real combo.
80
And Chris
points they
Paul was in there.
scored. Remember on us. They
They
hit everything in the world.
they didn't miss for two straight
They
games.
didn't miss.
And then you had to deal with the Lakers. It was you had to go. You have to go through Mount Everest. You have to do it. You have to summit it. And then whoever comes out the East, that's gonna be tough too. We'll get to that. Not Nuggets, but the Nuggets have to do it. They can't. They're not gonna backdoor this one. You can't play like you know Phoenix and then someone else and then someone else. You're gonna have to go through. You're gonna have to go through it. And I asked Nuggets Nation. I asked you too. Would you rather have it any other way?
Broncos fans, I would say cover your ears because Pat Mahomes. Remember when we talked about just like a great championship run? And I think this is a good opportunity to say, like, if Jokic and them do this, some championships are worth two. Like, remember when LeBron got that one in Cleveland?
Uh-huh.
That one felt like it was worth two. You
It
came
did feel
back
like it.
3-1 against Golden State,
Yeah.
which is a powerhouse team.
Right.
Best team to ever,
Yeah.
record-wise, in the NBA history.
Yes. With all those shoes.
To everything Christoph just said, there is no debate. If Jokic, Jamal, AG, and the rest of these Nuggets walk down on all three of those teams plus the team in the East and are have the Larry O.B. in the air come
Yeah.
June, end of June, this Jokic will jump a lot of people.
In a year that they
A
would
lot
have
of
given him the
people.
MVP. Okay.
No, like Jokic will very much jump into
No, I agree.
top 10, top 15 area basketball players of all time. If he's
Nah.
not there already for you.
He
Like,
starts. He
He
starts
don't
looking
get
at
there.
some real people in the eye. Like he starts, you could look at Wilt, you'd be like, "What's up?"
He's
You know?
you would literally be like, yeah, he could get Wilt. You could be like, yeah, he could get Elijah Wan. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You would because think about it, he'd have two NBA championships and like a crazy run to
yeah.
get
And
to
if he
that.
has four
Then he'd
MVPs,
have three
if he,
MVPs to go with it. Like,
yeah, let's say he has four MVPs and he has a championship and probably a Finals MVP.
That's it. Would be a second,
but
And
second.
then, like to your point, it's like LeBron. LeBron has four championships, but it feels like he's got like five, in
yeah,
my opinion, because that Cleveland one weighs
they're
more
heavy.
significant than another one. And I
Yeah,
know there's some haters, people yelling at me right now, but like it's in my humble opinion, I think it's honestly true. Like I think like in some people we can get into this later, but like I was gonna say, did you hear Anthony Davis talking about the bubble and how he said he doesn't really feel like a real champion
Yeah,
because
oh no,
him and J. Cole got to stay away from podcasts.
you're
all
right.
I gotta like that is so dumb because
It
like
is dumb.
anytime I hear someone say Mickey Mouse championship or bubble championship, what it tells me is that you guys don't understand historical significance or what you lived through, or that you guys were present minded in the moment. I remember people begging, they were begging to have sports back. Remember
Yes,
that? Like when the league shut down, they're like, please, 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 I can't watch anything. ESPN was running those stupid like Zoom videos, like doing the collages with all these people's like, we want sports. Sports make life better. Sports are this. And then people were so happy when they got into the bubble.
yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, the games are so good." I thought we buried this when the Nuggets won the NBA championship because the Final Four in 2023 was the same Final Four in 2020. The Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics, and Heat. The same teams were good then, they were good now. I thought we put this to bed. And then this one-eyed unibrow guy comes up and starts talking reckless, and I'm like, bro, come on, like relax.
But to give him his
You
credit,
are Mickey Mouse.
to
That's what
give
you
him his
are.
credit though, he was saying specifically why he felt that way is because he did not get the arena feel to it. He said
Yeah.
sometimes he forgets that he won a championship because it wasn't in the same vein. So if he just left it at that, he would have been good. But then the last comment he said was the one that was like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Sometimes I don't even think that we really if it was a real championship." That was a bad look. That was a bad
Can
look for them. That was a bad
back.
look for them.
Well, Kyle, here we go. I think he already has him cleared. Back to where we're saying. I think he definitely clears AD with another championship. Um, he distanced himself. Let's put it that way. Here's a crazy stat I just saw. Right, Jokic literally has 30 more. Okay, so last night against the Grizzlies, he had his 89th career triple double in three quarters, right? That's 30 more than any other player. We already know the second place is Russell Westbrook with 59, right? But 89 triple doubles in three quarters would put him eighth all time, ahead of James Harden and one behind Luka Doncic. I don't know. I think that's an absurd stat.
You know why it's absurd? Because both of those people you named, all three of those people, Russ, Harden, Luca, they're all guards. And Joker is a what? Center. That's why he is so phenomenal to me. This is a center playing like a guard, playing like this and getting this and beating them out in their own stats. So that's why Paul Pierce and other people say this may never happen again because you would have to have a center get these statistics. But it doesn't matter, doesn't seem to matter to the media.
Can I say one other thing? This is super off random, but I went to the gym today and I was trying to make that shot Jokic did. Like I tried to go as high as he did against Wemby, not the one that he did the softboard, but the one after it where it's
Yes.
like baseline and he
Come
just
from the
shoots it over
baseline.
him.
Yes, yes.
That's an incredibly tough shot. Yeah, you gotta shoot that ball so high. Because think about it, Wemby goes full jump. So
Yes.
he's throwing that at like 11 and a half feet
Yes.
over him.
Yeah.
And just trying to perfect float that. Like that's why I said to everything Christoph is saying, then you would need a player that is that skilled around the rim. It's just not gonna happen.
That floater is, I mean, his touch. That's when I knew he was back. Remember
Yeah.
when he first came back when he was from injury and he had some good. That first game was good and everybody was like, he's back. And then he had like everybody that's normal would have some moments where the injury is, getting to you again, or you're tired, or you don't have your stamina, you're not in shape. So he had some lull there, but it was a lull that
Yeah.
anybody else not named Joker would have loved to have stats. But he was, for him it was.
Yeah.
Then he finally, you saw it coming back. And so my thing is, what he lost during that time that I noticed was his touch
Yep.
around the basket. Because if he put it up there, he's going to go up. He's going to get it in there. Those little feathery floater things he does like daily, all the time in every game. He is back. So his touch is back. His stamina is back. His passing is back. What was the game with Wemby? I think he didn't have any turnovers.
Nope.
They don't even talk about that. And then he had the other stat we need to talk about, because maybe we didn't do it last time. It was when we had that SGA and they beat us and on and on and on. But then we had SGA over this period of time that they looked at, he had 41 free throw attempts and Joker had what?
Yeah.
One.
Only person I can say I've seen to have as great of touch around the rim in NBA history as Jokic is like Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Those guys are the only people I
And
know
that's one of his favorite players that he models after.
clearly, like, goodness gracious.
He looks up to. He looks up to a lot of centers. I'm saying that, but
I mean, maybe did Kevin McHale have it like that too? I didn't watch it.
he had a touch. I mean, Joker's
McHale,
the Joker.
maybe
It's just-
McHale, maybe Kareem. Like those are probably the only people with
Yeah.
that great a touch.
Well, Kareem, the sky hook, he invented that,
Yeah.
so people wouldn't be hitting him.
I just don't want to be, sometimes you get too modern and you
Yeah.
forget all these other people. But as far as I can tell, those are the people I think about.
He's
with
up
great
there. I
touch.
mean, and most of the times we talk about the centers, he's going to be in the top 5 and definitely the top 10 of whatever the skill set you're talking about. No, he doesn't. He's not a rim protector like they are, and
Well,
some traditional centers skills. But he does it. He protects.
even
he
now
blocks.
though, even now, like besides LeBron, there's not many people like Jokic where you're like every possession's a great possession.
Yeah.
Touches Jokic's hand. Like I remember LeBron in his prime, whereas
Sure.
like the balls in LeBron's hand were good.
Yeah,
That's how Jokic is, and that's super rare.
especially at the end of a game.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna move on. We're still in Nuggets. Can we talk about Jamal, please? Oh my goodness.
It's Mr. Second Team NBA this year.
My goodness, Jamal, you put it together. I'm so proud of you. You usually have a slow, I'm gonna say it this way, slow start to a season, and then you get better as you go on. And when you get to the playoffs, you're Mamba, blue Mamba to us. You always will be. I know you're Blue Arrow, but you're Blue Mamba to this pod. So you have been consistent the whole year. You deserve
Everything.
everything you're going to get. You got your All-Star first time, and you're going to be on All NBA on one of those levels. Needs to be 2.
I think he has a good case for 2. I think he has a good case for 2.
You
for
think he
sure.
has a good taste for 2, Christoph? 2.
I think he's a shooter for 2, hopefully.
Well, we shall see.
Well, is Luka gonna make the first team or is he knocked off now? Let's just assume he's gone still. So let's say it's gonna be Jokic, Luka, SGA, Wemby, and Jaylen Brown.
Okay. No, see, here's the problem. There, we never talk about
Cade got screwed.
Cade. That's
Cade
what I was
got
going to
screwed.
say. So, okay, but let's go with that. So then Cade goes to 2 with Jamal.
But is Cade gonna be on it? Unless they do some exemption
This
for him.
65 game thing, do we have to talk
They
about
ruined it. I feel like, well, yeah, we can talk about it in this sense. This is last year is gonna be a thing. Yeah, it's
No,
done.
and we could say it. Can we move into not Nuggets now?
Yeah, it's going not good.
Because, I saw breaking news before we started the pod that Embiid's getting shut down for the season because of
Yes.
arthritis surgery or whatever.
Opinion.
And I think it's only
Opinion.
right that
Opinion.
like in maybe in 4 years where people on the internet forget the whole reason why they even had a 65 game is because of Joel Embiid, because they tried to give him the MVP. They tried to give him the MVP over Nikola because Nikola played like 77 games or something like that. And Embiid had 50 games. They're like, you know what? Look at his stats. His stats and yada, yada, yada. And people are like, how are you going to compare? Wait, yeah, the best ability is availability. How are you going to compare someone who played 20 games more and say that they're the most valuable player? That doesn't make any sense. So they tried to balance the scales to 65.
And load management.
And I like it.
I don't hate
theory.
it.
Yeah, I like it in theory.
I don't hate it either. But like also at the same time, to tell me that Cade or Wemby isn't deserving of
MVP
whatever.
or my man
No, or not even
Minnesota.
MVP, just like awards. Like they can't be the first,
But it's
second team.
worse than
Like
that.
Cade is minimum a second
But it's
team.
worse than that,
It
Chris.
doesn't matter then. And
Christoph.
then it messes up their money
I
too.
was gonna say it's worse than that because they mess up their money, and two, you got these dudes rushing back when they shouldn't be
Yes,
playing.
that
Because
too.
like now, for example,
Tatum.
Jokic didn't miss a single game for the rest of the year, and he, luckily for him, he fought through his injury and didn't
Yes.
re-aggregated or anything, or re-agitated or anything.
Mhm.
But that is still a dangerous precedent to put
It
out there
is.
where you got dudes rushing back just to make some type of stat when they're well deserving of it. When Jokic could have used 2 or 3 more games to
Yeah,
probably
probably.
to heal up. And that's
You
just
know
think about Anthony Davis. I mean Anthony
Edwards.
Edwards.
Anthony
Think about
Edwards.
Steph Curry coming back. There's so many people that are fighting back to come back for these injuries that are real injuries, and that's what the
what
thing that they need to figure out is like,
what
okay,
I just
when are dudes actually truly hurt where it doesn't dock them points? Like Jokic, for example, was out for 20 games or whatever it was. That's a real injury. That's not a faking injury.
Yeah, I guess what all I was gonna say to that, Kyle, and is the voters need to use this word. I mean, hopefully they're writers, so they should know it. Discretion. They should think about it when it's like, or discernment. It's been a long day.
Mhm.
Discernment, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit here and tell me, if you're in a real bout and you're gonna tell me that Joel Embiid is more valuable because he averaged 36 points or whatever it was, then Nikola Jokic, who's averaging a triple double or whatever he was averaging, probably 27 and 11 that year at eight assists, and he played 77 games, and this dude played 51 games. You're gonna tell me that this dude's more valuable? I think in that morning, in that moment, you use discretion and you figure out, hmm, which one it is.
Yeah,
Discernment.
I think they did it also for load management because just like these last two games that we're talking about, who's going to play, who's not going to play, who's going to sit, who's going to have some injury or whatever, and it could just to make it be legitimate enough that you could sit them. People did start doing that when big games were announced. Like let's take you. We're talking Embiid. We might as well finish Embiid. Embiid hadn't been to Denver to play Joker on the schedule for a long,
There
many
to
many
put in
years.
perspective, there's kids in middle school that are now seniors in college
That never saw
that
Embiid
never seen
in
Jokic.
Denver.
Yeah, never seen Embiid play a game
Yeah.
in Denver.
So my point is, it's some of that they're trying to control for too. So they have a lot of goals that they were trying to match up with the 65 games. Some people have some ideas about how to fix it. Maybe minutes played. If you miss out on the 65 game rule, they'll have some kind of minutes you have to play. Because let's say for example, before you got hurt, this was Joker. He was playing like 45 minutes or 40 minutes plus every game, and he played 40 games till he got hurt or something. I don't know. Pick something. So, and then he missed, enough that he's going to be right there trying to get the 65. Okay. If he had played enough minutes in the games that he did play, you might win. I've
Cade,
heard that before.
Cade's the worst one because again, Cade was an MVP
Yeah, he
candidate,
was.
and now he's just not going to be on. He's not going to make. He's going to lose on money.
Yeah,
He's going to lose on everything. That's just foolish. That was
it's foolish.
that's
For something that really was
a
was
true
terrible.
yeah.
It was that was very harmful. So
That one's silly.
it is. So, anyways, we'll see how they fix it, but I think they're going to tweak it. I don't know if they'll get rid
But
of
to your
him.
point, Christoph, Jamal should be on second team. I don't know what number or what, but anybody after those first five, I said, I mean, Jamal should be anywhere in those next years.
Jamal has, I heard the stat. Maybe you could find it for me, Christoph. The Jamal has a stat in the NBA that he's the best at. I don't know if it's shooting percentage or it's how many shots he has taken from some, I don't know if it's threes or anything, but he has that stat that he's going to get right now for these next two games. If he continues at it, he'll be top of the league in that stat. And it has to do with shooting. And I can't remember which one it is specifically, but Jamal, I don't know. I think I told you you can go back and look at one of the pods we talked about. I know I said this. I think it's his daughter. I think the fact that he is stable, he's happy. He's worked on his craft for this long. He still is playing with Joker. He's just having fun out there. He
Yeah.
just looks like he is just at the best place of basketball in his entire life, and his whole life is good. And so I
It's
think
been like
that's what
that
it is.
since the summer too.
Since the summer. I think this daughter has really grounded and rooted him and makes him thinks about what's important, and he's going to enjoy it while he's enjoying it because it's showing in his play.
And
I'm
then
telling you.
if Jamal goes up to the next level in the playoffs,
Oh my
he
goodness.
does.
Do you think he has another level?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We're talking about the Blue Mamba. There's no level. There's no levels to you when you really when you
Hey,
tapped in like that.
I ain't mad at you. And so, okay, we're still in, and I know we went to sort of in the middle here.
That's the thing
We're
about it. We can be in any part of the podcast. It's still just Nuggets.
Yeah, it's just Nuggets at the end of the day.
What about
We
AG, my man?
Hey,
yeah,
he's been great. You know, we actually haven't gave a lot of flowers to is Cam and Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway
Oh yeah.
got the number two all-time NBA Nuggets 3-point
Oh,
in a season, and he's coming off the bench. That's impressive. Jamal is the leading one from this year. So him and Jamal are going to set the record 1 and 2 this year. Cam
he's back. Cam's back.
playing great basketball, might I say.
And like our announcer said, Cam.
And then what I really like about Cam right now is that you see why we got him because like he is a good defender.
Yeah.
And then you add in what he can do as a shooter, then you're like, good. This is what we've been waiting for Cam. When Cam figured out, like, oh, I just gotta go get my bucket.
You know what I think he did? I think he looked at Peyton Watson's film and how he does it, and CB does it, and then he looked
I
at
would say
Bruce
CB.
Brown.
I think he learned a lot from
Bruce
CB.
Brown too. When he saw how Bruce Brown was trying to get back to where he can help out, when he found it, he's like, okay, all y'all want me to do is defend and move, and then you'll find me. Joker will find me. We told you he will find you, but he now knows that.
Yep.
So now he's fit into the offense. He knows what he needs to do in that offense, and that's scary.
Yeah, cool stat about Bruce Brown. He's the only Nugget that will potentially and should play 82 games this year. So that's shout out to him and his health as well.
Yeah, he carved out. It was rough for him a little early to get back in the swing of it. He's been, if you have him say he didn't get the ball very much wherever he went.
Yeah.
He got paid, but he didn't get the ball. He wasn't on the court, and he just figured it out.
He's back to him. I think he's back to basically how he played.
He does, and he loves Denver. He goes to the Avs games. You'll see him at different places and showing up, and he just loves Denver and he loves the Nuggets. So
and then Christian Brown.
Oh my gosh,
right now.
He came back. They came back. Christoph, you said it. You could come back too soon from an injury. We think they brought back Cam and CB a little bit too soon. They both had to go back to the bench and sit some more games. And then when they came back, they were ready. But CB's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got paid on a great contract on off season, and he's now seeing why they paid him.
Yeah.
So, and then P Watt, he got hurt, but
P Watt getting hurt. That man was about to make 120, 30 million. He still might. Like I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge after the season. Maybe just
I you know what Pete Watt needs to focus on right now is getting healthy. Before he gets the bag, get healthy. Because if you show out in the playoffs like you were showing out in January.
Yeah.
The money's gonna still be there for you.
Yeah, because he's like Cam's playing so well, Peyton Watson's gonna play so well. No, I'm saying, he'll have to come off the bench now because they've built the camaraderie.
Yeah, that camaraderie.
But it would have been if he would have been healthy, it would have been a dangerous conversation to say he would have.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, like there is some leverage. He has a couple leveraging tools against him now too, because it's like, like you had your breakout season, but in your breakout season, you also got injured and stayed injured a lot on the back half of that season. So how do I know? Am I gonna get the injuries or am I gonna get the production? So now, that's a little balancing act.
People do get paid and they injured. Like Luka, you pay him all the money you want because he's gonna get hurt.
I'll save the theories. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll save the theories, but there's somebody that wears 23 that I feel like is trying to make a case to be a Nugget next year. But we'll save that for another day.
That's
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Anyways, before we get to the
Denver.
Can you remember? I mean, I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with it for a year. Get him his 5th ring with Jokic. Can you imagine that? Talk about ball knowledge on a court. LeBron and Jokic on the same court.
Oh my God!
You couldn't tell them nothing on the court.
I'm saying, and Adelman really wouldn't be the coach at that point.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you. Who in the East do you think is real?
Do you want
Yeah,
to
who do you
rank
think is
them?
real in the East? Or
You want to
like who
rank
do you
them?
trust the most?
Rank your top 3 or 4 in the East.
That I trust or that I think how am I ranking
I
them?
mean, you're kind of asking a question. Are you basing it on who you trust the most or who you think's going to win the East?
I'll say who do I trust the most? I'd put Boston number one. Ooh, that's tough because I would say I trust the Knicks second most. I would say I trust Cleveland next, then Detroit. And the reason I'd say Detroit fourth there, not because I don't think they're talented. Obviously, they're the one seed, and Nat Cade's back now. They're gonna be great. That their defense, all the things. Jalen Duren's having an excellent season. He's a candidate for second team All NBA for sure. But the one thing I will say about them is my ism. They haven't ended anybody's season. They're like very much so like San Antonio to me. Like
They're good.
they haven't done it. So from a trust standpoint, until I see it, I can't trust that it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna put them at four. I'm gonna slot who did I say? Cleveland.
Cleveland,
Cleveland because you have Harden, you have Donovan Mitchell.
Mitchell.
They've had success. They've also had not a lot of success. So that one could go either way. So I'm gonna put that one at three because I don't know.
Not
The
three,
Knicks,
five.
yeah, huh?
You said you're gonna put them at three. Cleveland at
Yeah, yeah. Because I had
Boston.
Detroit at four. I had
Uh-huh.
Detroit at four, Cleveland at three. Number two, I have the Knicks because obviously they've
Okay.
they've made deep runs the last couple
And
seasons.
Celtics.
I can't wait. The best. I love the Pepsi can. Don't get me wrong. Ball Arena is numero uno in my heart. But from a standpoint of watching a basketball game, specifically a playoff basketball game, the Garden lights up like no other arena in the NBA. And I love Knicks playoff basketball. I don't like it. I love it. So, are they good enough? We'll see. But I trust them because I've seen it the last couple seasons. Do they get over the hump? We'll see. In Boston, obviously, especially if they're healthy, they're well coached. They've won a championship in the last couple seasons. I trust Boston with my life in the East. The fifth, do I? That's a
It doesn't
smorgasbord. I
matter.
I would throw, yeah, because they're not doing
That
anything
means you
because
didn't even make it to the next round
Yeah.
if you're the fifth best team.
exactly,
Yeah.
precisely,
Yeah. This is the top four. I,
precisely.
I think you're right about Boston. I'm just worried about Tatum. He came back from an injury quicker than an Achilles of all things, quicker than a whole lot of people, and he's doing great. The day we were watching the Knicks game, and with the Boston and Knicks won that. There's your hope right there for the Knicks to be there. The Knicks won the game. They were back the neck and neck all the way down to the last minute seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
they had a collision. Tatum was on the bottom of it. I held my breath to make sure the man got up. They only got another couple games left. We
Yeah.
got to get him to the playoffs. He's getting okay. You got to get a tune up. This is his tune up. This last week or so, he came back to get that going. But I don't know how that's going to hold up for
You
series.
said Knicks won Boston too?
I say Boston one,
Oh, okay.
Knicks two. I'm almost with Christoph. Three, you had who?
He had the Cavs, I
He had the
think.
Cavs. I think Detroit. I know, I hear you, but it's no different than San Antonio to me. San
Actually,
Antonio's
it's
over
it's
there.
even better than San Antonio. They went to 7 with the Knicks
That's
last
true
year,
last
and they're
year.
gonna be playing the eighth
Yeah,
seed. They're
I
gonna
got
they're
them.
gonna end the team season this year. That logic isn't gonna apply to them
Yeah,
this
I
year.
got I got Detroit there, then Cleveland. That's mine.
I got it completely different than you guys.
Uh-oh.
I got Knicks one.
Really?
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, the Knicks literally they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They didn't get it done. You still got Brunson. I trust Brunson a lot. I think I think you got after Brunson and them at number two, I got Detroit. And the reason why I got Detroit is because they're the one seed. They're going to be playing the worst team, so they're going to be playing at best the Cavs. I don't really trust the Cavs much of anything. Reese, like just in them, they haven't. Cavs always do this where they just fizzle out in the playoffs. So I don't have the Cavs ranked higher than fourth for me. So I got Knicks, I got Detroit, then I got Boston. And to your point, I don't know. Like I'm not even trying to say anything bad, but like I'm kind of with you. There should I didn't want if Tatum shouldn't have came back this early.
No,
And
he
I
shouldn't
think
have.
when you're in a playoff series, he's gonna want the ball because he still thinks he's Tatum, but
Yeah.
it should be Jaylen Brown's team. So I
Right.
don't know if that's gonna conflate when they're actually like really need to start winning games in playoff moments. So I don't trust them as much. That's why.
So
I would trust
one
them the most if there was like health, if it was normal Boston
Yeah,
circumstances,
sure.
easily number one. But I just don't trust Tatum at this moment
His health
in his
and
health
his career and again.
to be in a to
Oh,
win 20 plus games in a
yep. Four series.
yeah, like yeah, 20 16 plus games
16.
in the NBA finals and all that. I just think it's too much. And then like I said, I got Cavs at 4. I just don't Cavs continue to
So we
disappoint.
don't expect any freaky stuff. Like
No, actually
you
I
don't
messed up.
foresee like you don't see
I
like
was saying
foresee
Atlanta.
like Atlanta or Charlotte, who's
Don't sleep
had
on
a pretty
Atlanta.
good second half of their team and they
I
can
think
score
they'll
with
get to
anybody in the
second
league.
rounds. I think they'll get to the second rounds, maybe. But who does Atlanta?
Who?
Where's Atlanta at?
But
Where's Atlanta?
Atlanta's the sixth seed right now, so they would
Okay,
play
so
the
they played
Knicks.
three. Yeah, they play. Oh, they played the
Oh, then they're gonna
Knicks.
lose.
They're gonna lose then.
That's what I'm saying. So you had nobody underneath them. Toronto, Atlanta,
No,
and then the play-in
Heck
teams:
no.
Philadelphia, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, and Orlando. You don't think any of them are
I don't. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't trust them.
okay? So the four are the four, and that's just what it is. Okay, I think it's going to be something similar in the West. I think the top four seeds are going to advance. The only one is if the Lakers are not healthy, maybe Houston can get them, but I just don't have faith in Houston. I don't think they're constructed properly, especially after like the All-Star game when Katie, all that came out about Katie talking mess about Jabari Smith and and then even before the season when Fred VanVleet went down, that it seems a little snake bitten down there in H-Town. So I think the top four will move on. And then you already know what I already said earlier about the pathway to the NBA Finals. It's going to go through Denver. So I think at the end, I mean, obviously I've said this last year and I'm going to say it again. I got skin in the game, so I really want the Knicks Nuggets in the NBA championship,
Yeah,
in the NBA Finals.
I would love to see Nuggets versus the Knicks in the NBA Finals because you get the Madison, like you said, kind of what you're saying. The Mecca of basketball gets to have an NBA Finals. It's gonna go crazy in there. Um, you get the Nuggets, so that's just happy for us. So and then you get the best player in the world. I think that's just a really fun series. I don't know what ultimately is gonna. I wouldn't give you a prediction on how that
And,
series would go
and
not right
Dot,
now, but I would love to see that series.
And to your point about if the Nuggets win this one, it would mean two for Nikola. It would definitely be cemented meaning two if he beats the world-renowned New York Knicks in the NBA Finals because everybody's going to be paying attention to that. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? And if he goes out there and puts on a show, that only heightens his cachet. So yeah,
But then
that's that's what I want.
then you would have Wemby and Jokic second round, Boston and Knicks second round. I think that's fun. That's gonna be some great basketball.
Interesting.
All right, let's go to the 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining.
Well, you have a Duke, you have North Carolina, you have a great rivalry, and it's gonna get a lot better because Coach Malone got hired as the North Carolina head coach,
Yay!
replacing Hubie Davis,
Hubert,
Yay!
yeah.
Hubert Davis, and so
Yeah.
he'll be taking over. What y'all think about that?
His daughter goes there on a volleyball scholarship, and he said in his introductory press conference, which he should say, and that's the only thing I think you can say, is that he would have never taken any other job in college basketball
That's what he
except
said.
for except for this job. First thing I thought of, even though he's not, he didn't really have any ties to it prior, I don't think. But like first thing I thought of is, and I don't think we ever said this, but Doug Moe. That was the first thing I thought of.
Mm.
And rest in peace to Doug Moe.
Yep.
That's forever. But and then also George Karl, like that the UNC Nuggets coach connection. I just saw
Interesting.
that as another another
I
step in the
didn't think about
lineage.
that.
So I'll close what I had to say for this pod is rest in peace, Degmo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other thing I saw Kenny the Jet Smith talking on NBA Countdown, and he didn't say this, but he insinuated that when he would see Michael Malone on the show, that he's like he's wasting his time on here sitting next to us. He needs to be coaching, and you know where Kenny the Jet Smith went to, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So
So
I
I
got the
was
impression that,
there.
yeah, I got the impression that he might have, suggested it somewhere along the path because he's an alum. So people were, why? I mean, if you're not going to be in the NBA, you've been to how many teams in the NBA that
Yeah.
he's coached for? You know, he was at Cleveland, he was at Sacramento. I mean, he wasn't a head coach at Cleveland, but he was one of the assistants, I think, right?
Yeah.
So he's been through, and then of course Denver. So why not try this college? And if you're going to go to the college, I say go to the one. If you can't get Kentucky or some of the big time schools like that, Duke or North Carolina is right there. So
Yeah. Well,
um,
I said good. I said
I
congratulations,
do too.
good,
Congratulations.
because TV wasn't working for him. That
But
he was saying too much. That ESPN was getting to his brain cells.
think that he wanted to shock the world and say something profound and whatever different and everything. But some of his take that L with you kind of personality came out because I think he was still a little bit salty about things in Denver
Yeah.
that happened to him, and you can understand that. So this is a good place where he's going to land.
Yeah, I think he's best as a coach, where, like you said,
Yeah,
he gets to use that energy to make
right.
the team better. And if you really want to be honest about Mike Malone, he was best when he was able to take the Sacramento Kings from nothing to
Yeah,
a really competitive team.
developmental.
Nuggets, he took a very bad Nuggets team to the
Yes,
NBA championship
yes,
and win a championship.
yeah,
I think that 4 year window or whatever, how many years he gets with these kids, he'll be able
yeah,
to give. They're going to listen to him
right.
regardless. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and
And
yeah,
the only thing else that he has to learn, and it'll probably be easy for him, is just like take Roy Williams' playbook and see he's really good at
to
recruit.
recruit.
But I don't think you have to worry that much when you're on North Carolina. North Carolina's going to get
Here's what you
recruits.
got. You got North Carolina, which has tradition, and you got a coach that has a NBA championship and worked with Joker. Okay, or work with he worked with LeBron for goodness sake. I
Yeah.
mean he has a lot to say what I could provide you. He's not like Deion Sanders in football coming into for a player coming into the college level with a lot of a celebrity around him. But Michael Malone has a lot of celebrity.
Well, you know who their football coach is.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was gonna say about that
Are we not going
is
to say the name of Belichick?
this
No,
is a
nothing
this is
bad.
this
You
is
just
this
say,
is this is a basketball podcast. We've
Okay, all
done
right. I was just wondering.
we slip some NFL in there and other
Okay,
sports
slipped it
just to
in.
show because we're well rounded, well
Hmm.
versed.
Hmm.
I want to know, to be honest with you, and I already said earlier in the pod that I'm not really a sports gambler, but in this one I would do a little wager. Would you say before or after January 15th, Coach Malone will have called his team soft at some point?
that was gonna be
Oh,
that's gonna be
boy.
easy for him.
It's gonna be easy.
He's gonna be easy calling his team soft.
Yeah, it'll be before. Before. And if not, he
Before?
definitely is going to do it in March Madness time if he doesn't get there.
Yeah, he's gonna call him soft like going into
Well,
the ACA championship, into the
Yeah.
ACC
yeah.
championship
Turn yeah, yeah,
weekend. Yeah,
that week for sure. And you
yeah,
know,
that's prime soft time because
yeah,
it's like lovey-dovey too. Like it's right
yeah.
around Valentine's Day. They
Uh-huh.
definitely soft.
But you know what? Dot did have what my thoughts. I agree with him on this. Michael Malone is best with developing, and because he has that hard edge about him, calling people soft, making got to run everything. You got to listen to me. I'm the one that knows, and that worked with Joker and Jamal a long time because Joker got drafted at the second round. He's from he's learning how to speak English better over here and learn all the stuff about America and he's international and all that. Um, and Michael Malone was good for him. But then when they got a championship
Yeah.
and he still was trying to treat them like they were like newbies or whatever, trying to, tell them what's good for them and calling them soft every other day because he didn't understand that they're older and they're vets and they don't want to play hard they want to get to the championship. It came out that's one of the reasons why he's no longer here. And then he didn't want to play the people that he could develop his bench, and so he later, the starters played a lot.
Yeah.
He won't have that issue there because they're all kids.
You can only poke the softness. You can only call it a 3-time MVP soft so many times, or a Jamal who scored a triple-double in a game 4 of the NBA Finals, or AG. Like you can only say, or Christian Brown who won an NBA college and an NBA. You can only call those guys soft so many times before they're just like
whatever.
So
yeah, we said before, to answer your question, before January 15th. So
but they'll listen. Those kids will listen at least.
They will. I wish them luck.
And guess what? If they don't, there's always a transfer portal. Like Mike Malone got the best of both worlds now. Like if you don't like a player, get in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, from the Just Nuggets podcast, my name is K.Kyle. You can find us on X and Threads talking about Nuggets basketball. We have 2 more games left against the top 2 teams in the West. We'll see how those games go as far as who's going to play.
Joe will play tomorrow. And
one other thing we didn't talk about, but we can it's not really just a passing, but Giannis, there's a lot going on in Bucks. That's kind of hit his course. So it'll be interesting to see where Giannis goes next year. But
yeah, he's going to be. I'm surprised he stayed this whole year.
Yeah, he's really
this was starting in
a lot of ways. He's a stand-up guy, because he clearly should have left. He should have been out. He kind of wasted another year with them, knowing it wasn't going to work. So
gave him one
last shot, and it didn't work. But we'll see. That's going to be a crazy moving piece this summer.
Yep. What about you, Christoph? Anything?
Giannis wants to play with his brothers. I know he said he was rushing back so he could play one game with his brothers in the NBA, which would be a cool feat. No doubt about it. But that would be his last game in Milwaukee.
They wouldn't let him play with his brother. It's crazy, but
I know that's crazy. I mean, just let him play. Would they let LeBron? I mean, you want to talk about family? What about LeBron and Bronny?
Yeah, LeBron on the court with his son right now. Anyway, from Just Nuggets podcast. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, everybody. And as always,
go Nuggets.
Go Nuggets.